She wipes the mirror again, slow circles with a soft cotton cloth. Outside, morning sunlight slips gently through the curtain. Inside, the mirror stays dull, fogged not by steam, but by something heavier. She leans closer. There it is again. That persistent smudge. No matter how many times she cleans, it doesn't quite go away. It's been there for years, this mirror, quiet and unmoving, above the old dresser in the bedroom. It has seen birthdays and silence, arguments half-whispered before sleep, a husband's back turned, a woman's hands gripping the edge of the bed night after night, wondering why rest never truly comes. We place mirrors to reflect beauty, to check our faces, to make small rooms feel wider. But mirrors are not just about light. They are memory made visible. Have you ever walked into a room and felt tired even before sitting down? Or stood before a mirror and instead of seeing your image, felt the weight of something else looking back? It's not just the glass. Mirrors hold echoes of every sigh, every unspoken grief, every time you stood there unsure of yourself. They reflect the visible, but they remember the invisible. In ancient Vietnamese homes, a mirror was never just decoration. It was either hidden, covered at night, or placed with care. Our grandmothers may not have called it energy, but they knew. Some objects carry more than we can see. Today, many of us hang mirrors freely, opposite beds, facing front doors, doubling messy corners, never wondering what that reflection might be doing to the spirit of our space. But the truth is this: one mirror in the wrong place can shift everything. Your sleep, your relationships, the way you feel walking through your own front door. It doesn't shout, it whispers over time, until joy begins to dim, until you forget how peace once felt. So take a breath. Look again, not just at the mirror itself, but what it's showing you. Not just what's in front of it, but what's behind it and within you. What if that old mirror isn't just holding light, but holding back the life you're ready to step into? Section 1. Is a mirror just glass or a keeper of memory? Most of us walk past our mirrors without thinking. We check our hair, our collar, a lipstick smudge. Then we move on, never wondering what the mirror has taken in. We think of it as just glass, just silver and shape, just reflection. But what if the mirror isn't just seeing? What if it's remembering? A mirror doesn't blink. It doesn't pause when we leave the room. It simply stays, holding whatever stands in front of it day after day. That moment you stood in your robe, exhausted but pretending not to be. The morning your shoulders slumped a little deeper. The night you cried while brushing your teeth, careful not to make a sound. It saw that. And the next day and the next, it held it. Not like a camera capturing an image, more like a quiet surface catching echoes. Because mirrors don't just reflect light, they catch mood. They amplify energy. They repeat the frequency of what they've been around. That's why some rooms feel heavy even when no one's in them. And some feel open, clean, even if nothing has changed. It's not always the room. Sometimes it's what the mirror has been carrying. Have you ever walked into a space and suddenly felt unsettled, without knowing why? Like your breath got shorter. Like something inside you tightened a little? It could be the lighting, the colors, or it could be a mirror placed where it keeps echoing tension. Mirrors are like speakers, but silent ones. They don't make their own sound. They just amplify what's already in the air. And if that air has been heavy for a while, the mirror doesn't cleanse it. It holds it, repeats it, quietly, without judgment, but consistently. This is why some rooms make you feel seen, and others make you feel watched. There's a difference. Feeling seen is soft, supportive, kind. Feeling watched is restless, guarded, draining. A mirror that faces a window filled with light might make you feel seen. A mirror that faces a hallway you always rush through might make you feel watched. One lifts, the other weighs. And that weight over weeks and months begins to change how you carry yourself in your own home. But mirrors don't choose what to reflect. You do. You choose what stands in front of them. You choose where they face. You choose whether they're clean, dusty, broken, or glowing with care. And in those choices, you're not just decorating. You're deciding what to amplify in your life. Not just what you want others to see, but what you want your space to say back to you. Because every mirror is a conversation, and every conversation changes the room. So ask yourself, what is this mirror reflecting every day? Does it offer clarity or confusion? Does it multiply warmth or echo the cold? Does it help me return to myself? Or make me feel like I'm always just a little off-center? If you're not sure, take a quiet moment. Stand in front of the mirror not to look at your face, but to feel what looking into it does to your body. If your shoulders rise, if your breath shortens, if your thoughts scatter, then maybe the mirror isn't just showing you something, it's telling you something. And maybe it's time to listen. Section 2, 4 taboo positions for hanging mirrors. Number 1, mirror facing the bed. Why sleep feels restless. There's something about nighttime that makes silence feel louder. The light dims, the house settles, and you finally lie down, hoping for peace. But sometimes peace does arrive. You adjust the pillows, take a few deep breaths, the sheets are cool, the air is still, and yet your mind refuses to quiet. Thoughts flicker like soft static. Your body feels watched, eyes closed but not safe. Then one evening you notice it. Across the room, facing your bed, stands the mirror, perfectly polished, perfectly still, perfectly awake. A mirror never sleeps. Even when the room is dark, even when you are still, it holds your image in its frame. Not just your reflection, but your posture, your breath, your silence. It doesn't mean harm, it simply reflects. But what it reflects, it also amplifies. And that is where the trouble begins. You see, the bed is a place of softness. It's where your body lets go of everything it carried during the day. It's where your thoughts slow down, your muscles release, your heart opens without defense. Everything about the bedroom asks for stillness. A mirror does the opposite. It opens, it reflects, it moves energy even in the dark. And when it faces your bed, it creates a silent tension. A pull in the space, subtle but real. It's like trying to fall asleep while someone is quietly observing you. Not hostile, not loud, just present, watching, echoing. Night after night, your body senses that movement, that watchfulness. You start to dream more vividly, wake up more tired, feel less safe in the room that should comfort you most. You may not realize it at first, but over time it adds up. A fog in the mornings, a heaviness behind your eyes, a reluctance to even lie down. The mirror didn't mean to cause it, but it keeps your energy stirred when it should be still. And then there's the space between two people. When a mirror reflects a shared bed, it doesn't just double the image, it disrupts the connection. Emotions don't land. Conversations don't soften. Something feels distant even in closeness. You talk less, reach out less. You sleep beside someone and still feel alone. It's not that love is gone, but the room no longer holds it gently. Because every night the mirror is there, watching both of you but holding neither. For those who sleep alone, the effect can be even more tender. The mirror becomes a second presence in the room, but it's not warmth. It's a silent reminder of absence, of someone who isn't there, of a part of yourself you're still waiting to feel again. But this isn't about blame or fear. It's about awareness and the power of small, quiet changes. You don't need to throw the mirror away. You simply need to soften its presence. Shift it, angle it, place it where it no longer faces your resting body, or hang a light curtain over it before bed, something sheer, something gentle. Let the mirror rest when you do. Some people choose to move it inside a wardrobe. Others replace it with something still, A painting, soft fabric, a panel of warm wood. Whatever you choose, let the space remember what it's for: rest, recovery, tenderness. The difference once you move the mirror can be subtle, but you'll feel it. The room becomes quieter, not just in sound, but in energy. Your body softens more quickly. Sleep becomes easier, deeper. You wake up feeling like something released. And maybe, just maybe, the loneliness that once pressed against your pillow will loosen its grip. Because the space has changed. Because you gave your rest the room it deserves. And all it took was noticing what was watching you in the dark. Number 2, mirror reflecting kitchen, bathroom, or clutter. The echo of chaos. She stood in the hallway holding her tea. From where she was standing, the mirror caught her off guard. Not because of her reflection, but because of what lay behind her. In the frame of the mirror, the image was clear. A cluttered kitchen counter, unwashed dishes, a half-peeled orange from the night before. It was quiet now, but somehow the space in the mirror felt noisy. She turned away, but the feeling lingered. We don't always notice what our mirrors reflect. We focus on what they show us: our hair, our clothes, a quick glimpse before heading out. But mirrors don't only reflect people, they reflect energy. And sometimes, what they reflect is the very chaos we're trying to move away from. In any home, there are places meant to nourish and places meant to release. The kitchen, for example, holds the fire of daily life, sharp, necessary, alive. The bathroom, in contrast, holds water and stillness, a place for washing, releasing, flushing away. And then there are those little corners, untouched, ignored, a pile of magazines, a basket of old mail, a stack of clothes we keep meaning to sort through. We call them mess or life. But really, they are places where energy stagnates, where breath doesn't flow, where light hesitates. When a mirror reflects these spaces, it doesn't hide them. It multiplies them. It's subtle at first. You walk past a mirror that shows the kitchen, and you suddenly feel tense. You glance into a mirror that echoes the bathroom behind you, and something in your chest pulls back. You don't name it, but you feel it. That tiny moment of contraction, that low hum of unease, because a mirror placed carelessly can become a silent amplifier, not of beauty, not of peace, but of the very things we try to contain. The kitchen is a lively place. It buzzes with motion, boiling water, chopping sounds, the scent of oil. But when a mirror catches that fire energy and reflects it over and over, it can overstimulate the space. You find yourself cooking but feeling anxious. You eat but don't feel nourished. Conversations in the kitchen feel rushed. Tempers flare more easily. It's like the mirror is replaying the energy too loudly. Then there's the bathroom. It's not something we think of as beautiful, but that doesn't matter to a mirror. If it sees a toilet or damp towels or a closed door behind which water stagnates, it reflects it anyway. And with reflection comes amplification. That energy, which should stay private and contained, begins to seep into living areas. The house feels heavier, emotions harder to hold. You walk into the room and feel like exhaling, but not in a good way. Clutter, too, has its voice. The not yet decided energy. The I'll deal with this later corners. The unresolved. A mirror that faces a cluttered area is like giving it a microphone. Suddenly, that pile of forgotten papers doesn't just sit there, it echoes, and you feel it. In your mind, in your breath, in your shoulders. Even beauty, when placed beside disorder, begins to lose its effect. Because the eye can't rest, the spirit can't settle, the energy can't move cleanly. It's easy to forget that the objects in our homes are in constant dialogue. The couch speaks to the rug, the lamp speaks to the shadows, and the mirror speaks to everything it sees, then tells the rest of the house about it. So if it sees chaos, it broadcasts chaos. If it sees a place that should be hidden, it opens it wide. If it sees something unresolved, it keeps repeating it, softly but persistently. And over time, that repetition becomes mood. A feeling of, I don't know why I'm so tense. A restlessness in the living room. A resistance to staying home too long. But here's what's beautiful. You don't need to fix your entire house. You only need to redirect the reflection. Look at every mirror in your home. Stand in front of it. Ask softly, what are you showing me? And more importantly, is that what I want to multiply? If it's reflecting mess, turn it toward light. If it's showing something closed, turn it toward something open. If it's echoing busyness, give it something quiet to reflect. A simple houseplant, a window that filters afternoon light, a soft painting of still water. A white wall, even calm, unassuming, neutral. Mirrors don't choose what they reflect, but you do. And in choosing what the mirror sees, you're choosing what your home will echo. Because the mirror is not just a surface, it's a sender, a translator. A quiet speaker of what surrounds it. Let it speak something gentle. Let it repeat something clear. Let it mirror back a home that breathes. Number 3, mirror facing the main door. When good energy can't come. The sound of the front door clicking shut. Keys on the table, shoes off. A long sigh escapes, half relief, half something else. You've come home. But somehow you don't feel like you've arrived. You walk into the hallway and something feels off. A strange hesitation in the air. You're inside but not fully settled, as if the space is quietly pushing you back out. And there, directly across from the door, is the mirror. Large, perfectly centered, beautiful even, but cold. Mirrors near the entryway are often chosen to open up a small space, make it feel bigger, brighter. But when a mirror faces the front door, directly, it does something else entirely. It turns away what's meant to enter. You see, the front door is more than just an entrance. It's the threshold where life meets home. Where you bring in your mood from the day, where opportunities knock literally and symbolically. The entry holds that first breath of energy. It carries warmth, movement, a kind of invisible invitation. But a mirror facing that door acts like a wall, a reflector, a silent rebuff. It catches the incoming energy and sends it right back out. You may not feel it with your mind, but your body knows. There's a lingering restlessness in the hallway. Shoes pile up but never feel in place. Packages arrive, but something always gets delayed. Visitors don't linger. And when you're alone, the space doesn't comfort you, it just feels incomplete. It's not that anything is wrong. It's just that nothing stays. Luck drifts in, then floats away. Money arrives, then slips through cracks. Ideas spark but fizzle before they land. Like wind passing through a window left open on both sides, never settling, never belonging. And then there's the inner effect. A mirror at the door creates a subtle emotional divide. People in the home may feel unsettled, not grounded, as if they're always half in, half out, not fully rooted in their own space. It can show up as impatience, forgetfulness, a vague sense of being disconnected even from people you love. You start to ask, why don't I feel at home in my own home? Why does it always feel like something's missing? But the answer isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's just a mirror facing the wrong way. Because mirrors don't filter what they reflect. They reflect everything, including the energy meant to nourish your home. And when placed like this, they push it away before it ever touches the floor. A house can be beautifully decorated, perfect in every way, but if its entrance rejects the very essence of arrival, then even beauty feels empty. So what can you do? You don't need to remove the mirror entirely, but you do need to shift its gaze. Move it to the side so it no longer greets the front door head-on. Let it reflect light, not movement, warmth, not passage. Better still, replace it with something inviting. A wooden bench, a soft lamp, A vase of fresh eucalyptus, something that welcomes. Let the mirror reflect stillness, not the threshold. Let it echo rest, not transition. And more than anything, stand at your front door one quiet evening. Don't look inside the house just yet. Stand still, keys still in your hand. Close your eyes and ask, does this home let me in? Does it make room for what I carry? Does it allow me to stay, not just with my body, but with my heart? Because when we cross a threshold, we bring all of us with us, our stories, our exhaustion, our hopes. And the space should say, yes, come in, yes, you belong. Not bounce it all back with a glint of cold glass. A mirror is just a surface, but when placed with care, it becomes a bridge. When placed without thought, it becomes a barrier. Let your entry be a gentle breath. Let it pull you inward, not reflect you outward. Let the mirror stand aside and let you enter your own life fully. Because home isn't a location, it's a landing. And no one should feel like a guest in the place where they lay down their soul. Number 4, mirror reflecting negative outdoor scenes. A door for sadness. She didn't notice it at first. The mirror in her living room had always been there, hung just right, framed in soft wood, catching light from the window. But over time, something in the room began to shift. She started feeling heavier in the mornings, a fog in the chest, a quiet ache she couldn't name. Even her favorite chair by the window, once her sanctuary, now felt dim, drained. Then one evening, she looked at the mirror again and realized what it had been watching all along. Not her, but the alley outside, gray, cracked, overgrown, a wall stained with age, a power pole leaning just slightly. A corner where wind collected and light avoided. That was the mirror's view. And every day it pulled that image inward without a word. Mirrors don't make choices. They don't know what's lovely or what's lifeless. They simply reflect what's there. But what they reflect, they also amplify. And when a mirror stares out at something broken, forgotten, or bleak, it brings that feeling inside. Slowly, quietly, consistently. It's not about belief, it's about presence. Because the spaces we live in are not just visual, they are emotional landscapes. And what the mirror pulls in becomes part of the emotional air we breathe. We often place mirrors near windows to capture more light, but we forget to ask, what light from where, and what else comes with it? If the window looks onto trees swaying gently in the wind, the mirror reflects calm. If it sees sunlight dancing on leaves, it invites in freshness. But if it faces a crumbling wall, a dead-end alley, or a shadowed corner filled with forgotten things, then that's what it carries in. Not the image itself, but the feeling behind it. It begins like this, a slight tension in the room. An invisible heaviness like fog collecting low. Moments of sadness that come for no reason. A loss of clarity, a lack of motivation, not depression, not illness, just heaviness. As if joy can't rise. As if your thoughts have to push through water to move. You clean the house, rearrange the furniture, still something feels off. Because what's leaking in isn't in your house, it's in the mirror. The mirror in this position becomes a silent door, one that stays open to what should have stayed outside. Not physically, energetically, emotionally. It doesn't matter if the scene is a small one. A rusted pipe, a corner where garbage gathers, a tangled fence. If it symbolizes stillness, decay, or tension, the mirror echoes that frequency and spreads it softly across the room. You may look away, but the mirror never does. There's a certain cruelty in this kind of reflection, because we don't blame the mirror, we blame ourselves. We think, why am I always tired here? Why do I feel low, even when life is okay? We carry that weight without realizing it didn't start inside us, it started across the glass. But here's the grace in all of this, you can turn it around. Literally, take a moment, stand before the mirror. Look not at yourself, but at what the mirror sees. Ask, is this what I want more of? Is this the feeling I want multiplied in my home? And if the answer is no, then change the direction. Even a few degrees matter. Let the mirror reflect light greenery movement. Place it where it catches morning sun or a view of open sky. Or if that's not possible, cover it, rest it. Let it face inward towards something soft and kind. You don't need to force beauty. You just need to protect peace. Some people replace such mirrors with soft tapestries. Others move them to places where they can serve gently, near plants, near warmth, near signs of life. What matters is not what you remove. It's what you choose to invite in. Because mirrors, more than any other object in the home, are messengers, and they repeat the story they are given, again and again, in light and shadow. So give yours a new story, a new scene to echo, something that reminds you every day that beauty doesn't have to be loud, it just has to be present. A vase of dried flowers, a small lamp with golden light. A photo of your grandchild smiling, the frame slightly tilted. Something simple, something whole. Let that be what the mirror holds. Let that be what it sends back to you, because what we reflect becomes what we feel. And what we feel becomes how we live. Section 3. When a mirror is placed right, how the house breathes again. Sometimes all it takes is a shift. Just a few inches, just a new angle, just a decision to let the mirror see something softer. And suddenly the room feels different. Brighter, lighter, more willing to hold you, because mirrors are not just watchers, they are senders. They catch a moment and send it out like breath, across walls, across time. A mirror placed with care can be like opening a window to something beautiful. Placed near a window that receives morning light. It spreads that softness across the floor, across the face of a wooden cabinet, across the arms of a resting chair. Suddenly the whole room wakes up, without noise. You don't need more lamps, more space. You just need reflection that knows what to reflect. In the dining area, a mirror can be a witness to warmth. It catches a table set for 2 or 4 or just 1, yet still it doubles the feeling of being enough. A bowl of soup, a plate of rice, a quiet hand reaching for salt, multiplied not in quantity, but in presence. That small meal becomes an offering. That laughter becomes an echo. That togetherness, even if only with yourself, becomes bigger. And over time, it teaches the room what abundance really means. Not lavishness, but intimacy. The feeling of being full, not from what you have, but from what you hold. In the living room, a mirror that reflects something alive. A green plant, a curved chair, a child's drawing taped to the wall adds movement to stillness. It doesn't just reflect space, it extends emotion. The plant feels more lush, the corner more open, the day more generous. Even your breath feels longer when what surrounds you feels inviting. Because a good mirror doesn't widen the room, it loosens it. It lets energy flow, lets thoughts rest, lets beauty land without pressure. But not every beautiful thing needs to be reflected. What the mirror shows should be clear, soft, and stable. Not noisy, not chaotic, not bright in a way that stings. Avoid placing mirrors where they catch direct glare. Avoid pointing them toward televisions, tangled cords, corners you haven't touched in years. Instead, let them find the parts of the room that feel like exhaling. Let them amplify what's already gentle. Some women place mirrors near their bookshelves, not for size, but for symbolism. The mirror reflects a quiet row of stories. It becomes a reminder that life doesn't always have to be forward-facing. It can be inward, too. Others reflect fresh flowers, a fruit bowl, a painting of a place they loved once but haven't returned to yet. And in doing so, the mirror becomes more than decor. It becomes a window into memory, a soft archive of what matters. There's no formula, no universal best place for a mirror. What matters is attention. What do you want to feel in this room? What do you want this room to reflect back to you? If the answer is clarity, let the mirror reflect open space. If the answer is calm, let it reflect light filtered through fabric. If the answer is joy, let it reflect something blooming. And most of all, let it reflect something real, not perfect, just real. Because when a mirror shows you something that makes you breathe easier, your body remembers, and your home does too. We think change requires noise, renovations, big budgets, entire rooms flipped upside down, but often it begins with something smaller, a shift in what we allow ourselves to see, a mirror turned toward light, toward life, toward something that reminds you this space is on your side. And that reminder, it multiplies like sunlight across the floor, like stillness that hums instead of hides, like home, not as a place, but as a feeling you can finally reflect. Final, you walk through the house again, this time slower. No rush, no list, just you, your footsteps, and the quiet weight of noticing the mirror in the bedroom, the one in the hallway, the one that used to reflect a forgotten view. You stop before each, not to fix, not to judge, just to see. And in seeing, something shifts, not outside, inside. You realize the mirror has never asked you for anything, but it has been reflecting your choices all along. Where you've placed stillness, where you've allowed clutter, where you've given space for light, where you've mirrored what you no longer want to carry. Some reflections bring comfort, others feel like whispers of something long ignored. Either way, they speak. Softly, repeatedly, and now that you've heard them, you cannot unhear. The beauty of it is this: you don't need permission to shift a mirror. You don't need a reason to invite softness. You don't need proof to follow what feels better. All you need is a moment, and the willingness to look not at the mirror, but at what it reflects back into you. So tonight, as the house grows still again, and the light fades from the walls, ask yourself gently, if your mirror could reflect only one truth, what would you choose for it to remember?